It's been great. It's you know, every time I see someone else, it brings back a different memory. Just driving over here past the Newton campus, and, you know, seeing that hill we used to run up every time, and thinking about running around the reservoir, and thinking about all the shortcuts we used to create in my little Honda, trying to find faster routes to get back and forth from one campus to the other. Great memories. What I'd like to do today is just talk about share a couple lessons that I've learned in life, and by way of example, just explain how I kind of learned them in my life, and hopefully they will give you some perspective and some guidance that will help to shape you as ethical leaders of the future here. I had never done a play before in my life. Actually, that's not totally true. I had one line in the 8th grade play. In high school, I tried out for a play because there was a cute girl trying out, but then we started dating, so I quit. So I didn't have a long experience. But the idea of doing a play terrified me. But I wanted to get back in the game enough that it was time to face my fears. So I said, let's do it. It's time to pay my dues and get my acting MBA, so to speak. I, of course, was absolutely clueless about stage acting. I'd probably done, I don't know, a dozen films at the time, but stage acting was a different thing. To the point where the first, we had been reading the scene and working on it, the whole play, and we finally got up on our feet. And I'm the guy from Hollywood, and the rest of them were pretty experienced New York theater actors. And they say, okay, let's start. So we kind of go to our spots, and I'm standing there, and everyone's kind of watching me, thinking, what's he doing? Is he getting into character or something? And the director's kind of watching me, and he's not real sure, so he comes up and says, is everything okay? I say, yeah, I'm just waiting for you to say action. I didn't realize they don't say action. It is so important to know who you really are and to be faithful to it. This comes from a perspective of being totally honest with yourself, who you are at your very core. I've had 1,000 different interests in my life, throughout my life, but I never let any one of them define me. I'm defined by my family and my faith. In my family, when you graduated from high school, you went to college. That's just how it was. It was understood. Yes. I was going to Boston College to study business. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to hang out at MAs in Cityside. I wanted to have Scooby Kart races on Newton campus. I wanted to tailgate on Shea Field. Of course, I also wanted to get a great Jesuit education. I think faith helps to give you perspective on things. I think that's a big part of, stepping back and keeping your priorities straight, because it's really easy to get swept away. And I think that it's one of the things, like I said, that and my family, for me, the highs can be so high in my business and the lows can be so low, because it's, the only thing you can equate it to is politics and sports. Everything is out in the open. It's so public, and your victories are celebrated and your defeats are celebrated too, because they love to see people fail. And that's tough to handle, and you need to keep some perspective and not let yourself get swept away.
So let me see how you're looking.
I'm checking her grades closely.
Oh man.
All right.
I talked to her about a couple of grades.
Chemistry.
I can't imagine taking chemistry here right now.
And genetics class. I still cringe when I hear that class.
Oh, boy, it's good to be a graduate.